fellow tech enthusiasts. Welcome back to my channel, Arrest to Earnings. Hi, I'm Divya, and if you are here to master SQL, you are in the right place. Today, we are going to dive into SQL. Yes, Structured Query Language. If you have ever worked with databases, then this video is for you. So, in this lecture, we are going to cover SQL commands. So, let's get started. So, let's look into the agenda of today. So, we are going to cover the four main categories of SQL commands. Those are DDL, DML, DCL, and TCL. Alright. So, we can say that the entire SQL commands can be categorized into four categories. Them being DDL, Data Definition Language, DML, Data Manipulation Language, DCL, Data Control Language, and TCL, Transaction Control Language. Let's look into them one by one. First comes the data definition language. As the name suggests, DDL commands helps us to define the structure of the database. So let's understand DDL with a real life example. Alright, suppose think you are going to build a house. You need a blueprint, right? So think of this as the blueprint of a house. Before you build it, you need to set up the structure. So let's explore some common DDL commands. The first one is create. This command creates new tables, databases, or views, or any other objects. You got the point, right? So don't worry about the syntax because we are going to learn the syntax when we are diving further into the SQL lectures. Alright. Next comes the drop command. So drop commands removes the objects like tables, databases, or views from the database. You got the point, right? You have to use it wisely because it is a very destructive operation. Once you have dropped, you cannot be rolled back. Next comes the alter command. So want to change an existing table, then we have to use the alter. For example, if I want to add a new column to the customers table, let's say, then I have to use the alter. Or if I want to change the column name, then I can use the alter. So to change the structure of a database or table, we can use alter function. Next comes the truncate. This command removes all the rows from a table but keeps the structure intact. It is faster than delete because it doesn't log individual row deletions. So when you come back to the drop command, it is like it is going to delete the entire table. But with truncate, the table structure remains intact. You got the difference between drop and truncate, right? Now, let's move to the next one. The next one is DML. So now I want to manipulate the data inside the database, then we are going to use DML. So it handles data, it uses insert, update, and delete. So first coming to the insert. So if you want to add new records or new data, we will use insert to populate our tables. So think of insert as bringing in new people to your party. Every time you add someone, you make the guest list a little more fun, right? Next comes the select. So if I want to retrieve data, we use select. So suppose if I want to, let's say I want to retrieve data, I want to get all the customer details, simply I will write select star from customers. So this is going to get me the all details of the customers. I'm repeating again, don't worry about the syntaxes right now because we'll be definitely looking into them later on. Next comes the update. So want to change the existing data, then we have to use update. So understand the difference between alter and update. If you want to use alter, then you are using it for a table or a database. But if you want to update a new record, that means if I want to change someone's phone number in the table, then I am going to use update. If I want to change the column name, then I'll be using alter. Or if I want to add a column to the existing table, then I will be using alter. So that is the difference between update and alter. Next comes the delete. So it helps us to remove the data. Let's say I want to remove some rows or I want to delete some rows. Then I can use delete here. Here I can use it with where clause so that I can able to delete only particular number of rows. So the difference between delete and drop is in delete we are going to use where clause. It helps us to delete some particular rows. Whereas in drop we will delete the entire table or the entire database. Alright. Let's move on to the next slide. So the next one is DCL, that is data control language. So DCL commands manages the access to data. This is like setting permissions in a video game, alright? Who can do what? So we have two commands in DCL. One is grant and the second one is revoke. So if I want to give permission to someone, then I will be using grant. If I want to revoke the given permission, then I will be using revoke. As simple as that. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is TCL. So TCL commands deals with transactions. Alright. So what happens is it ensures that your changes are permanent and secure. Imagine a bank transaction. You wouldn't want to withdraw money and have the transaction fail halfway, right? So that's where TCL comes in picture. Now, let's start with the first one. The first one is begin. So if you want to start a transaction, you will use begin and commit. Once you are sure that everything is good, you can use commit to make the changes permanent. Rollback. What is the use of rollback? Oops, I made a mistake. Now what should I do? So this is simply like undoing a transaction. Rollback means nothing but undoing a transaction. Next, save point. So want to set a save point so that I would be returning back to a specific part of the transaction. Then yes, we can use a save point. So save point is like auto save in the word we generally use, right? Suppose let's say if I want to move back to a part of transaction where I have previously saved, then we will be using save point. So it sets a point within a transaction to roll back to. Alright folks, that's a wrap on SQL's DDL, DML, DCL and TCL. From creating tables to controlling transactions, these commands form the foundation of interacting with databases. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Also, drop any questions you have in the comments below. We are always here to help. Catch you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.